Hello, I'm Christopher Preble. I'm the co-director of the Scowcroft Center for Strategy and Security's New American Engagement Initiative. And I'm here today with Emma Ashford, a senior fellow in the New American Engagement Initiative. Emma is the first author in our Assumptions Testing series. Emma, why don't you tell us a little bit about your findings?
The global environment has really shifted since the last time President Biden was in office, back when he was vice president. And I think more importantly, the debate in Washington about China and Russia and other states has seriously shifted. And the problem is that most debate in Washington takes place under a set of assumptions that haven't really been tested. This is obviously what we're trying to do here at NAEI. So the assumption that my paper looks at is whether the rise of China necessarily means that we're headed for a more unstable world in which American interests are in trouble. And we believe generally that we're headed for a more dangerous world. My paper looks at why we think that is, because if we don't examine why we think the world is about to be more dangerous, we could end up making it worse. And this gets us into some of the fundamental questions of international relations theory. The bottom line is that multipolarity, that state of affairs where we have a powerful United States and a powerful China and a powerful Russia and other states, multipolarity probably is less stable. But the reason why is really important. It could be more dangerous because of uncertainty. This is the idea that we don't know what other states want, that we can misperceive defensive actions as offensive, lots of different reasons why we might be unsure of other states' intentions. Or it could be revisionism. It could be the idea that states like China or Russia are trying to rewrite international order, seize as much territory as they can, change the world, reshape it in their image. And much of Washington believes that latter point, that China and Russia are trying to reshape the international order entirely. But the policy prescriptions for that and for the uncertainty model are fundamentally different. In fact, you might make things worse if you believe the wrong one. So my paper looks at whether we can actually assume that China and Russia are revisionist states trying to reshape the world, and concludes that we just don't have enough evidence yet. It's not clear yet whether China's rise means that it will be a revisionist power.
So, Emma, what different policies would flow if we were to change our assumption that China was in fact a revisionist power? What different policies would we adopt?
So if we're in a world where we're assuming revisionism, but we're very uncertain about other states, there are two really important things that we can do. We can try and understand the scope of Russian and Chinese intentions better, and then we can try to hedge against the risk that we've made a mistake. So I suggest in the paper four kind of broad categories of things that we can do. So the first is intensify our efforts to understand those states' intentions. The second is focus less on forward presence and more on defensive contingencies and allied forces that are less threatening. A third would be to engage in reassurance measures, confidence building measures like arms control, things that we did during the Cold War with the Soviet Union. And then the fourth would be to start a process here at home within the National Security Council to look more clearly at defining our own red lines and priorities so that we can better communicate those to other states.
Great. Thank you, Emma, for joining me today. And on behalf of the entire team at the New American Engagement Initiative, I want to welcome your feedback. Our success or failure hinges on the willingness of people throughout the foreign policy community and the wider United States and the world to revisit some of these core assumptions and really be open to new approaches that collectively rethink, reshape, and reinvigorate U.S. global engagement.